Iraq is an arid, politically unstable country in Western Asia that is bordered by Syria to the northwest, Turkey to the north, Iran to the east, Kuwait to the southeast, Saudi Arabia to the southwest, and Jordan to the west. Iraq has a very short coastline along the northern end of the Persian Gulf, an area where offshore oil wells and its only seaport, Qasr, are located. The country is estimated to possess the world's third largest reserves of oil, and its economy is almost completely dependent on this commodity. Iraq is home to 38 million mostly Arab people. Its capital and largest city is Baghdad, seen here. Nearly every Iraqi is a Muslim. Around 65% of them are Arab Shias, and around 20% are Arab Sunnis. And, as is often true in the Arab world, the division between the Shia and Sunni branches of Islam here is often a source of tension and violence between the two groups. A fifth of Iraq's population consists of Kurdish people, and about 80% of them are Sunnis. Kurdish Muslims are, in general, much more secular, and they have more tolerance of Shia-Sunni differences than most of their neighbors to the south. Kurds are closely related culturally and linguistically to the Iranian people. Most of Iraq's Kurdish people live in the mountainous northeast of the country, in an autonomous region known as Iraqi Kurdistan, whose national capital is the city of Erbil, seen here. Compared to the parts of the country where Arab sectarian violence is commonplace, Iraqi Kurdistan tends to be peaceful and politically stable. Kurdish people make up the majority of the population in the parts of Turkey, Syria, and Iran that are adjacent to Iraq. And many of those who live in these areas are striving to form an independent sovereign nation to be called Kurdistan. The country of Iraq has been struggling with political stability ever since a 2003 U.S.-led invasion toppled the regime of its dictator president, Saddam Hussein, and unleashed suppressed tensions between its Shia-Sunni groups. To make things even worse, in 2014, the Sunni extremist group known as ISIS took control of a significant portion of Iraq. And as of late 2016, they have yet to be driven out of the country. So far, the Iraqis have not been able to form a government that the people feel truly represents the needs of the country as a whole, and that treats each subgroup fairly, without religious or tribal bias. Geographically, Iraq consists of three distinct regions. The first is the Mesopotamian Alluvial Plain, the flat central area of the country where most of its farmland and population is located. This region is crossed by its two great rivers, the Tigris and the Euphrates. As such, it makes up part of a much larger territory known as Mesopotamia, meaning the land between rivers, which extends into Syria and Turkey. Ancient Mesopotamia is often referred to as the cradle of civilization because, with the development of agriculture, it was here that humans first began to write, read, establish laws, and live in cities under organized governments. Today, in the southernmost part of Mesopotamia, near where the Tigris and Euphrates rivers meet, an Iraqi cultural group known as the Ma'dan or Marsh Arabs inhabit the marshy wetlands. These people travel about in small boats and construct homes and buildings like this one from the reeds that grow in such abundance here. Iraq's second main geographical region encompasses the northwestern end of the Zagros Mountains, a rugged range that runs along most of Iran's border with Iraq. Iraqi Kurdistan is located in this mountainous region. Iraq's third main geographical region consists of the eastern portion of the vast Syrian desert. This exceptionally arid region is the least populated part of the country. Climatically, the majority of Iraq receives less than 10 inches of rain a year. Most of Iraq's territory has very dry, hot summers with temperatures that frequently exceed 118 degrees Fahrenheit. Winters in Iraq are much cooler and wetter. Average highs are around 60 degrees Fahrenheit and average lows near 40 degrees Fahrenheit. The Zagros mountain region, however, is colder than the rest of the country and experiences occasional heavy, wet snows in winter.